Non-anime fans often seem confused about why One Piece is so freaking popular. The answer is that the ensemble cast is just amazing. The Straw Hats constantly have each other's backs and save one another from danger. So let's look back at the most heroic saves from one of the greatest anime ever made. Some foolish would-be anime fans might see that One Piece has over 900 episodes and think that's about it. Well, they'd be wrong. You see, like Dragon Ball, Naruto, and Bleach, One Piece has plenty of specials and movies on top of its almost 1,000 episode run. One of these specials, the underrated episode of Luffy, Adventure on Hand Island, features one of Sanji's most impressive moments. If you haven't seen it, let's just give a brief summary. It starts like most One Piece adventures, with the Straw Hats finding themselves on a new island and Luffy dives headfirst into the drama. Just once, it'd be nice if Luffy found an island that was full of danger and he was like, maybe this isn't my problem. If he would do that more often, he'd probably end up becoming king of the pirates before I have to watch the finale in a retirement home. So, Luffy meets a new friend who's a wax sculptor and decides to save his apprentice who has been wrongfully imprisoned. Naturally, Luffy gets in over his head. I mean, literally in over his head. He gets put into a steel box and thrown into the ocean. Luckily, our rubber pirate hero has lots of cool friends to break him out of jams like that. Sanji jumps into the water and breaks the cage into pieces with some well-timed kicks. The gang then goes on to save the day as usual. Luffy takes all the glory by beating up another evil clown of a villain who will haunt my nightmares along with Caribou and Buggy forever. The real thing that people should be impressed with? Sanji's suit. Sanji spends all his time on the sea and still finds time to keep his clothes perfectly pressed. It takes me a week to take my clothes out of the dryer, and I live on dry land. Having a bounty on your head really sucks. Just ask pretty much any character on The Mandalorian. You tend to get captured by charming bad guys and given to evil villains. Wow, Luffy has a lot more in common with Baby Yoda than I realized. Early in the anime, Luffy gets captured by a captain named Smoker, who hands him over to Joaquin Phoenix as a pirate. The Joker-esque Buggy then tries to see to it that Luffy's head is removed. Why are clowns always so violent? This is one of the most dire moments in the entire days of the anime. Even as his fellow pirates were desperately fighting to save him, it looked like all was lost for poor Luffy. Luckily, he's saved from Buggy and then again from Smoker by a mysterious presence. Turns out that this hero is none other than Monkey D. Dragon, Luffy's father and the baddest pirate this side of East Blue. Also, not everyone can pull off a massive face tattoo, but he really can. Maybe it helps if you can shoot lightning and you're regarded as the world's worst criminal for actively trying to overthrow the government. That should be a prerequisite for face tats. Sabo may look like if Luffy and Sanji fused together and bought a really cool hat, but he's an awesome character in his own right. Sabo once disguised himself and rushed to save the enslaved Kuma from the government's forces. He took out plenty of guards and was about to charge in when he was stopped by Karasu and Morley. Does anyone else think that Karasu looks like Bane with a lot of crow feathers everywhere? You merely adopted the crow feathers. I was born in them, molded by them. I didn't know about regular clothes until I was already a man. They already explained to Sabo that the situation is more complex than he realizes, and that even if he saved Kuma, he likely would never be the same. This may seem like a really small scene, but it's actually pretty important. One Piece is one of those anime where the heroes usually swing in and save the day. This scene where Kuma's fate seemed sealed and was left to his misery is pretty dark. It also reveals how loyal and versatile Sabo can be. That being said, he's also a lot more level-headed than other One Piece characters are. Luffy probably would have gone in anyway. More importantly though, where do you find awesome hats like the one he wears? I'm asking for a friend. Yep, gather around kiddos, it's time for another story about how awesome Sanji is. In most other shows, the cool guy in the suit is the big hero. It's very telling that in One Piece, he's basically the third coolest of the crew. For instance, there was that time where Usopp was at the mercy of hardcore wolf enthusiast and CP9 agent Jabra. All was basically lost for Usopp as Jabra went in for the final blow. Then Sanji leapt in with the save like Han Solo in the first Star Wars. He kicked Jabra so hard that the Wolfman went sprawling. Not only that, but Jabra used his patented tricky behavior on Sanji that had worked so well in the past and got another brutal kick for it. I don't know very many world-class chefs, but I really hope that all of them have kicks that could break a cinder block like a cookie. Surely they teach that in culinary school, in between how to bake the perfect cake and how to find the perfect suit for sailing in combat. This is a pretty special one. Many anime fans who loved classics like Bleach, Dragon Ball Z, and of course Fighting Foodons were a bit skeptical of One Piece. The commercials for it seemed strange, even by anime standards. Who would have thought that one moment would have started an obsession that's still raging over 20 years later? Though we can all agree that Fighting Foodons is the best of the four, right? We're introduced to the poor, pink-haired Kobe who has found himself in deep trouble with a creepy lady pirate named Alvida. Things look pretty bad, but luckily he's saved by the funnest pirate around, Monkey D. Luffy. This was the first time that the straw-hatted hero bounced into our lives and saved the day with a smile. His rubber foo antics proved to be so entertaining that over 900 more episodes still haven't worn them out. After he saves Kobe, we learn about his mission to become king of the pirates and decide to go all in for the ride. In 2004, most people were still going on about how awesome Captain Jack Sparrow was from Pirates of the Caribbean. Anime fans were like, sure, he's cool, but can he do stretchy punches? Call me when he can. Pop culture has taught us for a long time that sharks can't be trusted. Jaws, Goldmember, and recently the Meg have all given us terrifying sharks that are just the worst. One Piece is no exception. The evil Sharkman Arlong made a name for himself in the early days of the series as being one of the most merciless monsters in the sea. Well, up to that point in the show, that is. You see, Nami's ultimate goal back then was to buy back her land from the vicious captain. Only one of Arlong's men stole it before she could. This left her humiliated and defeated. Luckily, she had just made some new friends. The Straw Hats arrived on the scene and decided to save Nami and the village. This was when the crew really came into their own as they truly banded together for a noble cause. If you were just casually watching One Piece up to this point, this moment was when you probably became a fan. Luffy and the Straw Hats put a serious hurt on the Fishmen and saved the day for good. This was just one day of many though, as there were only more battles to come. Goldie Rogers is the legend upon which the entire series is based. He was the Pirate King and the owner of the One Piece treasure. In many ways, Luffy is just trying to chase his legend. So it's no surprise that the former members of his crew are pretty legendary in their own way. Silvers Rayleigh is one of the most notable members of the original Roger Pirates. He's in his 70s once he appears in the series, but that doesn't make him any less awesome. This is most apparent when he comes to Zoro's rescue at the perfect moment. You see, Zoro was taking on Kizaru, and it was not going well. Just as the Admiral dealt with Usopp and Brook so that he could finish Zoro for good, Silvers came in to save everyone. He pulled a Sanji and delivered a well-placed kick that dispersed Kizaru's attack. This save was pretty short-lived since Kuma scattered the Straw Hats in the next episode, but for a second there, Silvers was MVP. Every hero needs an epic origin story. Superman saved from a dying world. Spider-Man lost his uncle. Batman has that scene with his parents that we've seen 10,000 times. Martha cannot hold on to those pearls in any universe. For Luffy, that origin comes when he's saved by the pirate legend Shanks. Our young hero wasn't always super stretchy, but he was apparently always super brave. He tried to take on a team of bandits by himself, but was unable to stop them. That's when Shanks and his crew rolled into the situation to save their little friend. They made short work of the bandits, but Shanks wasn't done changing Luffy's life yet. Luffy then found himself at the mercy of the monstrous Sea King without the ability to swim. Suddenly, Shanks showed up to save the day once again. If saving Luffy wasn't enough, he somehow manages to scare the monster away with just a look. We later learn how he managed this, but it was much cooler when it just seemed like he made a sea monster terrified by throwing some shade. Then, to finish Shanks' trilogy of Luffy life-changing, he literally caps it off by giving his straw hat to Luffy. The same straw hat that he would wear throughout the series. As far as origins go, that's pretty cool. You don't see Batman running around with his mom's pearls on, though he totally should. No, this isn't the story about how Luffy saved King Neptune from SpongeBob, though that would be the coolest crossover in the Seven Seas. This is the story about how Luffy saved the King Neptune from Fishman Island, though the two Neptunes do have very similar crowns and beards. The king was at the mercy of Hody Jones, another shark man who had all but taken down Neptune. What did I just say about sharks? Just as all seemed doomed, Luffy hits him with a gear second kick that sends the sharky guy into a mountain. Everyone in One Piece is all about the saving kicks. What's awesome about this one is how freaked out all of the fish people get at Luffy's power. They probably still talk about how awesome it was years later. So it's like the opposite of Adam Levine's Super Bowl performance. Luffy makes a lot of speeches. Just so many speeches. Basically, whenever he isn't stuffing his face with food, he's giving a speech. Sometimes, though, he says more with his actions than he ever could with his words. Straw Hat archaeologist Nico Robin was considered a major enemy of the world government, so she was pretty pessimistic about her future. As Spandam mocks both Robin and the Straw Hats for how foolish opposing the government is, Luffy prepares his rebuttal. There's no big speech this time, though. He merely tells Usopp to take aim at the world government flag and burn it in front of everyone. This small act essentially put the Straw Hats at war with the world government. It was one of the best Luffy moments of all time and led to repercussions throughout the rest of the series. So, what did we learn, bad guys of One Piece? That's right, never directly challenge Luffy against doing anything stupid. And there you have it, all the best last-minute saves from One Piece. Which one was your favorite? Or should I say, which Sanji one was your favorite? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to CBR for all of the best Straw Hat content.